Welcome back. This part is the best part, guys. This is where you go over your services. And if you've been following along with the video channel, the nice chain we got going here, basically the sales process, how you're going to close deals, close them quick and get out of the rambling on, the auctioneer, I call it, so to speak, of your services, your features, your benefits, low communication skills, basic level talking in terms of I'm a bookkeeper, I for bookkeeping, I can do payroll, those kinds of things. I mean, that's the whole point of this channel, is get away from that kind of stuff and get back into the grind. So, bam! All right, this is where I want you guys to pretty much pick up at, right? And if you've got your notebooks from the last lesson, go ahead and grab those. This is so important. It's the most important thing you're going to do, basically. And you'll notice I always say it's probably the most important thing, but it is the most important thing. But number one, how to present your package and close the deal. Guys, and listen, this is where deals are won or they're lost, right? And you've got to think, you've already built rapport. You've been up there doing all the fun stuff, getting to know each other, right? Finding out the pain. Then you did what? The next thing, you sold the transformation. Probably did some ROI above that. If you're following the videos, you understand that process. Now listen, the only thing left is to present your offer clearly and confidently. And I want you to understand this. You're not explaining services, okay? You cannot do that. You cannot do that. You are confirming the solution. So you're not explaining services, you are confirming the solution, right? And right before this phase, what you did was you sold the transformation. Hey, imagine if X, Y, and Z was solved, right? So right now, you're confirming the solution. So what you need to do here is write down step one, bridge from pain to solution. You never jump into pricing or features, right? You bridge. Say this. Based on what you told me, you're dealing with pain, and you want to get to goal. So John, based on what you told me, listen, you're dealing with X, the pain, and you want to get to the goal, X, Y, or Y, whatever you want to call it. You need to write that down. Based on what you told me, you're dealing with the pain and you want to get to the goal. Here's exactly how we fix that. And now you've got them leaning in, right? So remember, bridge from pain to solution. Step two, write this down. Guys, you got to present the package at some point, right? Very simple, not too detailed. And this is actually where most tax preparers or bookkeepers mess up. You guys just talk too much. We talk too much. Right? You have to understand, you may offer 10 features, but they don't need to know about 10 features because they're irrelevant to their situation. Most of them. What I would say you probably need to do is watch the sales videos prior and understand the importance of rapport and finding the reason you guys are communicating, the reason you're interacting. But it's always good to have on the side a genuine 3-pillar max. 3 pillars of your main features, maximum. Okay? Maybe that's cleaning up books, payroll, enrolled agent. Who knows? Okay? So what would that kind of look like, having 3 pillars max? Well, guys, what we do is handle this in 3 parts. Okay, so first, we take over your bookkeeping monthly so your numbers are clean and accurate. Second, what we're going to do is we handle your tax strategy so you're not overpaying and getting surprised. And third, we work with you to actually improve your business so you keep more of what you make. And that's it. No tech talk, no rambling, no confusion. You guys got to remember, at the end of the day, these people are entrepreneurs, right? They're small business owners. They're pretty eccentric. Their minds are racing. They're going. They're fun. The last thing they want to do is sit down and teach themselves bookkeeping. So they don't really understand the verbiage. Maybe some do, right? But most of them don't. That's why they're hiring you. So the more clarity you can provide, the easier that you can go about explaining things, the better. And I think that's so important. So remember, no rambling, no tech talk, no confusion. And you see how I hit them with the 3 pillars, first, second, and third. This is what we do, this is what we do, this is what we do, this is how we can do it. Does that make sense? All right, and within those words, and pause it, rewind it if you have to, go back to what I said, and you can even borrow that if you need to. The next step, you got to tie this back to their life, right? Now, you guys are bookkeepers and tax preparers, CPAs, right? Advisors. You're in the finance industry. But at the same time, you have to realize that you're also a closer and a high-level closer. I call them elite sales pros. That's what you guys are at the end of the day, right? So remember, this is where closers separate themselves. Write this down. You say, so John, instead of guessing your numbers, stressing about taxes and feeling behind, you'll know your numbers, have a plan, and actually feel in control of your business. Now it's emotional again. I'll say it again. So John, instead of guessing your numbers, stressing about taxes and feeling behind, you'll know your numbers, have a plan, and actually feel in control of your business. You see how I made that emotional again? And you guys have to do that. The tonality, the pauses, right? Very good. Go ahead and write down step 4. Step 4. You guys need to be writing this down constantly. What's the point in watching a video and you don't even know it's over in 15 minutes? On to the next thing. No, you need to read it, digest it, absorb it, and understand it. So the next thing you need to write down is deliver the investment with confidence. All right, no hesitation, no weird tones, no apologies, no voice crackling, right? Something like this, go ahead and write this down. All right, John, so something like this typically comes out to price. Whatever your services cost. That's $500, a couple thousand, right? So let me do it live for you. So John, something like this typically going to come out to around $7,000. Boom, baby. And then he's going to bring it up. We can talk about it. I can break it down by month, how much that overall total cost per day. So maybe 30 divided by the 7,000 is X, right? It's only really so much per day to really use me. Beautiful. That kind of stuff's beautiful, right? But we'll get down to a closing video. But listen, guys, at the end of the day, you have to remember your tone is big, the confidence is huge, the conviction that you speak with, the belief that you have in your services, the way your eyes look, the way your presence, the way you make someone feel okay and safe. I mean, at the end of the day, you are their bookkeeper or tax preparer, so it's extremely important. So let's go ahead and write down step 5. So this is probably my favorite one, obviously, but ask for the decision. You have to ask for the close. Being a bookkeeper and a tax preparer probably is really strange that I'm going to have to go in for the kill. Going for kills, that's crazy with stuff, right? You guys are bookkeepers. You're analytical. You're thoughtful. You're thinking through things. You got the wheels always turning. But here's the thing. You can't ask weak questions like, what do you think? Instead, write this down. Ask this. Does that sound like the kind of support you've been looking for? Or do you want help fixing this starting today? And you got to let them respond. And you got to bring that confidence out. You got to bring that conviction out. You got to shift the way you're talking. You got to go into go mode, right? You've already done all the work. You've made them realize their pain. They've articulated that to you. They've communicated that to you. You've found the holes in their business just through a great conversation of what some problems they're running into, what they're looking to solve. You've kind of in a little canvas, so to speak, painted a picture, right, of how ROI and value is going to help them. He sold a transformation. So when you're speaking with that belief and you're speaking with that conviction and you've built that massive rapport, right, at the end of the day, boom, you're good to go, right? So let them respond. Normally you'll close the deal doing everything we just went over in this video. So guys, at the end of the day, also some key reminders for you. You have to understand that you're not really selling bookkeeping and you're not really selling tax preparation. You're not really selling advisory, right? What you're selling is a clear-cut solution, okay? A, B, C, D, E. This is how we can do it. This is what I see. This is how I can solve it. And it has to be very clear and simple. Your communication has to be, you need to dumb down your communication too. I mean, at the end of the day, they're business owners. They're individuals who maybe don't own businesses. They're employees. They don't know what you're talking about, right? So you need to make your communication, remember, concise, clean, simple. It needs to provide clarity. You need to have control of the conversation, of your business, more importantly, when you're selling, okay? When you're talking to them, you need to have control of the conversation, the flow of it, and they need to have no idea what's going on. They just need to think they're communicating with you. But more importantly, you're selling control to them, control of their finances, control of their business, control of their freedom, their time, and more importantly, more money in their pocket, right? I mean, the whole reason that they want to work with you is to make sure that everything is adding up and making sense, right? So if you do this right, the package doesn't feel like a pitch. It's really just going to feel like relief at the end of the day. So I think it's really important that you guys start with the rapport video. You watch it all the way down to this one, and I'll put out a closing video. Really just kind of how to behave, talk, and be in closing. You know, it's not going to be an objection video. I can put those out. I'll put one of those out. But, yeah, closing really is a mindset. So I can't wait to talk about that. Really look forward to actually working with you guys and helping you whenever I can put these videos out. They're a ton of fun. I'll tell you that. So anyways, go ahead and like and subscribe, and I'll talk with you soon. Oh, and don't forget, make sure you watch the closing video coming up. Check it out.